So in the last class, we had created this structure and we had gone through all the SEM structures. We had created our own business unit, inventory org, item org, sub inventories. We had given the role and data access for Adam Henry to all these inventory org and business unit. We had created our own item class, which was RV item class, and our own item, RV printers. We had created our own customer, RV2 customer, and we had done all the pricing setups wherein we had assigned that RV printers a price, then discount, shipping charge, and as well as currency conversion list. So till here we had done all the configurations. So here is the data sheet of all the custom created data we have gone through till now. It has everything: location, BU, item, inventory, sub inventories. Then this is the item, customer, and all the pricing related names as well. So for today, we will see the further topics starting from GOP, then picking and shipping, then some of the OM setups and AR invoice setups. But before that, let us see whatever data we have created, how does that look in an order management page? Let us materialize. So let me go to the Fusion instance. So with this, you will also see the need. You will also feel the need of why we need to create further setups of GOP and picking and shipping and AR. So this is the order management page. So wait, let me go to the home and show you order management. So I will be creating order in a similar fashion I had created earlier in the earlier classes. So click on create order. So I'm creating a new order and I'm going to use all the custom data, right? So business unit, RV business unit. Now customer, who was a customer? RV2 customer, which we had created. Let me type in RV2. Yes, RV2 customer. And as soon as we type RV2 customer, you can see these things are appearing. Bill to, ship to, bill to account, ship to address, contact method, contact name. So all these we had set it up in the customer configuration when we were creating this customer yesterday, right? Now, before I move ahead, this is in Indian rupee. Let me make it in dollar because we had set it up in dollar. So edit currency detail and ordered currency US dollar. Click on OK. US dollar is appearing. Now, let me give my item over here. So what was my item? RV printers. So by this, I'm making sure all the master data is integrated with order management, right? Customer, inventory org, item. So this is that kind of a checkup. So now let me type in RV printers. Let's see if that appears or not. Yes, it has appeared. And you can see the UM is RV each. And price, if I click on, yes, RV2 price list is coming, which we had set up to 300. And we had given a discount of 20 with RV2 discount rule. So both of these are coming. That is good. And you're seeing this message, no data was retrieved. So basically you see in stock, right? In stock or out of stock. But now you're seeing no data was retrieved because we have not defined GOP. We have not done the GOP configuration. So the GOP is not reading the on-hand quantity for this item and telling us whether it is in stock or not. So this is one of the needs why we need to define GOP. Okay, then I will click on add. I'm going to add this item to my order line. RV printers 1, RV each. Sale price is 280. Now I will go to actions and I will click on view pricing strategy and segment to see, yes, RV pricing segment is coming and RV2 pricing strategy is also coming. The one we had defined yesterday for this item, for this customer and this business unit, the three combinations. So our pricing strategy is working, customer is working, item is working, and all the data related to the customer is working appropriately as expected. So now I will go to the next page, which is shipment details. So over here, now we need to type in the shipping method. So we had created this carrier, if you remember yesterday. Yes, RV carrier. So let's see if that appears. I will type in RV tab. Yes, RV carrier, air next day air, it is appearing. The shipping method what we had set with the RV carrier, it is appearing rightly. So as soon as we select shipping method, if I go to the order line again, you can see even the freight charge of 10 is inculcated. This is because we had defined our shipping charge list and we had associated this with the strategy. So as soon as we select the shipping method, even this is getting incorporated, right? So even our shipping charge list is working, price list is working, discount is working. That is good. Then let me go to the shipping tab. So we have not created any custom FOB, so I'll leave it as blank, and freight term also. So these things, let it be. Now I will go to the supply tab. So now what does GOP do? So GOP calculates or computes which warehouse would be the most suitable for you to ship it to the customer. Suppose you are having this RV items in multiple RV printers in multiple warehouses, right? And it will have some open demands, open many, like you're not having only one customer to whom you are supplying. You will be having hundreds of customers. You will have reserved many quantities for some other customer in some other warehouse, right? So you want one intelligent system to tell you which warehouse is the most suitable, which warehouse has the most optimum shipping route. Everything you need someone to tell you, right? You can't go each time, and for each item you can't go around your inventory items and all that. So for that we need GOP. So when we configure GOP, this thing will not be no data was retrieved. It will show us some information. Okay. So then that is one more need of why we need GOP in our order management. So for now, if I click on the drop down of warehouse, what were our warehouses? Here it is. RV1 inventory org, RV inventory org 2. So these both we had done not. If it is appearing, then we have collected it rightly. Yes, both of them are appearing here. So let me give it as one. We are going to fulfill the customer's order with inventory org 1 because this also has 100 quantities. If you remember, we had created a miscellaneous receipt to increase the on hand, and sub inventory also. Let me choose. Yes, these two were the sub inventory. So in store 1, we had increased the quantity to 100 for this item. Now let me go to the next tab, billing and payment details. So here bill to address is coming from the top only. Bill to contact would be Alex Haley, what we had defined in the this thing, customer setup. Payment terms, okay, let it be 30 net, that's fine. So now in the coming setups, we will also configure our custom payment terms. We will also configure our custom FOB, and we will be, I'll be showing you. So now I have entered everything I should have. So now I will submit this order. Let's submit it up and see what happens with this order, right? We don't have GOP setup. We don't have picking and shipping setup yet. Just remember that. And now it is processing. Now the reason it has not gone for approval is, if you remember, for setting up approvals, the first thing we need to do is we need to go to order management parameters and start approval process for sales order. We need to turn it as yes. So for now, I have turned it as no. That is why, it is not going for pending approval. It is going to processing straight away. I have turned off the approvals, right? So after turning this on, we also defined many approval rules, right? For US1 business unit, not for this. So we can convert that. I will be showing you that as well. So now, and before it goes into other state, so this is the orchestration cycle, if you can recall. So it has 4 steps: scheduling, reserve, ship, invoice. So these are the 4 steps in GOP. So what have we done? I mean, sorry, these are the 4 steps in order management orchestration cycle. So till now, what setup have we done? We have done the reserve setup. We have, created the organization, created an item, associated that org with the item, and increased the on-hand quantity for that item for those 2 inventory orgs. So now we have done the reserve setup. There is enough quantity in that warehouse to supply, to fulfill customer demands. But we have not done the schedule setup. So schedule setup is a GOP setup, wherein GOP predicts the most optimum warehouse. It also predicts the schedule ship date and schedule arrival date. These three things are computed by GOP. So that we have not set up. Then the shipping setup. If you remember, we had done the create, pick, wave, pick, release, pick, confirm, ship, confirm, right? So to do this, there are some setups in the background. That also we have not done for this business unit and these two inventory orgs. And invoicing setup also we have not done yet. So let's see what happens to the order. So we have done all the data setups till now. So let me go to actions, switch to fulfillment view. See, there is an error, right? So before I click on the error, let me show you the orchestration process. So it has not got scheduled as well, right? It has not got scheduled. Now the reason is if I go back to the fulfillment line and show you the message. So it has stuck in the schedule step, create scheduling, because we have not done the GOP setup. So it is mandatory for us to do the GOP setup in order for the scheduling to work. Otherwise, it will not work. So for GOP, every organization needs to purchase a separate license. It is an extension of order management. Now, there are some organizations which do not want to purchase GOP, right? So in that case, you need to define a custom orchestration process in which you will bypass the scheduling. So that also I will show you later on. So the scheduling will bypass and it will start with reserve. The orchestration process will start with reserve. And in our case, it would have worked because there are enough quantities in our warehouse. But since it begins with scheduling and it is following the standard orchestration process, it is compulsory for us to define the scheduling GOP setups. So this is what I wanted to tell you in the beginning. All our setups till now are working fine. SCM structure, role and data access, item setup, customer setup, and pricing setups. So till now, all the setups are working fine, as we have seen in this order management page. Now let's jump on to GOP. And let me take you to the GOP page straight away from the. So before GOP, as I had shown you, we had to go to supply chain planning, plan inputs, and go to this task, manage planning source system, which is the first task in the list as well for GOP. And we had to select OPS and OPS here as well. Go to manage organization list and search for our organization RV and tick these both to enable them for collection, which we had done yesterday. Now, after we have created all our data, we had to go to collect planning data and make a collection of everything. And this is the reason you're seeing all the setups in order management. Otherwise, our customer item would not be visible in the order management screen. So we had done a collection of all these, right? So these are the two preliminary setups in GOP or in order management. So once we are done with these two things, now comes the ATP rule and ATP rule assignment and sourcing rule and assignment set. So these three are the pure GOP setups. So for that, let me take you to the GOP page, order management. So we have already seen pricing administration. We have seen order management. Now for the first time, we will go to this global order promising. So let's go there. And our first setup would be manage ATP rules. ATP stands for available to promise. So let me show you that. Click on manage ATP rules and click on plus. So now we will give the name of our ATP rule. So I will give it as RV ATP rule. Now I'll show you. So the name I have given. Now if I come down, you can see there are various options here. So first, let me go to the promising mode. So it shows supply chain availability search. So this means your global order promising will serve across all the possible supply and demand sources, which you will give over here. So when I enable this, I have these things to choose from, supply types and demand types. Now, whenever there is a customer order, what can be the source for supply? On hand, if you have enough on hand quantity. If you have incoming purchase orders, right? And if you want GOP to consider that, you can enable this. If you want GOP to consider supplier requisitions or internal requisitions, you can take these. If you want the GOP to consider standard work orders, work order is a manufactured order, like you manufacture in-house, or in-transit supplies, non-standard work orders, plant supply. If you want the GOP to consider any of these, you can enable that. And what will be your demand types, right? What are the possible demand types? Fulfillment lines. If there are existing sales order and you want GOP to consider that and accordingly tell you the source of supply. Dependent work order demands, planned order demands. So I will take all of these because I want my GOP to consider all of that. Now, then the next one is, so supply chain availability search will search within your Oracle configurations. What are the incoming purchase orders? What are the work orders? What are the internal requisitions? What are the already uh, given demand, received demand from the customer? It will consider everything, whatever you tick. Supply type, demand type. Now the second one is lead time based. So suppose you do not want GOP to consider any demand. Okay, you are very confident that for some items you will obviously have the availability in your warehouse after some days. So in that case, you can use this lead time based. So you can consider total lead time or user defined lead time. So suppose if I give user defined lead time and I give it as 6. So you're not telling the GOP to search within your warehouse. You're telling GOP to be sure that after 6 days, the item will be available in your warehouse to be shipped to the customer. So that means by total, that is the meaning of lead time based. And infinity availability based means, you always have the availability of that item in your warehouse. So you do not want GOP to search for the supply types, demand types. You're just telling the GOP, my item is there in the warehouse all the time. So for me, which makes sense now is supply chain availability search. I want GOP to consider all of that. Then infinite ability define, I will give it as infinity will not be applicable. So now past due demand considered in days, I will give it as 100 because I want 100 days to be considered. And ATP time frame specification also, I will give it as 100. And this also I'll give it as 100. So basically I'm telling the GOP to consider the demand, 100 days in the past and 100 days in the future. That's it. Now, other than these options, you see these 4 checkboxes as well, right? So one is search components and resources. So you always need to tick this. This means it will search all the components, resources, everything. Then enable profitable to promise search. So we define a cost. So there is a cost management module as well, which comes into the picture. So every item will have some cost, right? Every warehouse will have some cost, freight cost and all handling cost, all other types of cost. So if you want GOP to also take into consideration the cost and tell us the most profitable warehouse, which will be the least cost for us to ship to the customer, then we can take this. Then respect allocation constraint. So this is an advanced concept. If you have allocations and all, allocation rules and all, this is basically a planning concept. And split order when supply becomes available. So basically, if the customer has ordered 100, right, and the supply is available only for suppose 20, then it will suggest you that you can split whatever order is there in your warehouse and you can ship it to the customer. So that suggestion it will give you. So once we have defined our ATP rule, so for you supply chain availability search and just enable everything over here. Then go to ATP rule assignment. Click on plus assignment basis. So now you can give the basis as item and organization item category. It is, from the least to the most preferred. Like item and organization is the least priority, a category is the highest priority. I will give it as item. And because I'm not restricting it to any organization, I'm giving it as item. And what is our item? RV printers. RV printers. So this is it, a simple setup. we have gone to the ATP rule criteria. We have given supply chain ability search. We have enabled everything. We want GPU to consider everything. Then we have gone to the ATP rule assignment. We are linking this item with this ATP rule. That's it. Click on save and close. First, let me copy this. Okay, click on save and close. So now I will make this entry over here. Okay. So our ATP rule setup is done. Our ATP rule setup is done. Now the second setup, which is the most important setup, is our manage sourcing rules. So I will go to manage sourcing rule from here. Manage sourcing rule. So now I will create a sourcing rule. Click on plus. I will give the name as RV sourcing rule global. Okay. So let me just copy this and I will explain you in depth what does this mean. So let me, yeah. So what does sourcing rule mean? So for this order, you can see we have given the warehouse, right? We have given this. If I go to the supply tab, I have given the warehouse. Now, if you do not want to give the warehouse, if you want the GOP to predict from where it should supply it, then sourcing rule comes into the picture. And global sourcing, there are two types of sourcing rule, global and local. So global means you don't have to give any organization in the global rule. And in local rule, you need to associate your organization. So now let me choose as global and let me show you. Give the start date first and now give the sources. So local means within your organization, you want to know the supply, right? And global means it will also suggest you from where to buy, from which organization to buy. I mean, to fulfill the demand. So now I have given a global rule. Every item must have a global rule, otherwise it will not work. So now I've defined a global name. Now type. So there are two types, transfer from or buy from. So I will choose transfer from. I will give my organization as RV, inventory org1. Allocation percent 100, rank 1, and shipping method. Let's see if the shipping method is in sync or not. Okay, it is not yet synced, so let it be. Yeah. Now I will click on plus, and now I will give the second rank. Transfer from. So now while I'll tell you what it will do. RV inventory org2. This will again be allocation percent as 100, rank 2. That's it. Now if I expand that. So what am I telling? I am telling that for our item, first the GOP will consider inventory org1. And if there are no enough quantities in inventory org1, then it will go to rank 2, which is inventory org2. So this is how GOP will suggest us the warehouse. It will default the warehouse in our order management page, right? And allocation percent should always be given as 100 because there is no this thing availability of giving it below 100. It does not support it, that functionality. So you will have to buy a pass license. That is, great form of customization. So as of now in Oracle Fusion, we just have 100% allocation. So we have a ranking system. So like that, we can associate hundreds of orgs here, right? One priority rank 1 org will be this, rank 2 will be that, rank 3 will be that. Now, you might ask me, what happens if there is no on-hand quantity, not sufficient on-hand quantity, even in RV inventory org2? Then there comes the picture of local sourcing rule, right? So now we have a global sourcing rule in which we are telling the GOP to default our item supply from inventory org1. If no quantity in org1, then org2. Now, what if there's no enough quantity in org2 as well? So now we have to define the local sourcing rule for org2. So let me just save it. Save it. And let me just copy this again and save and close. Save and close again. Now again, I will create one more sourcing rule. Click on plus. Now I will create a local sourcing rule. I will give it as local. And I will associate this local sourcing rule with inventory auth2, RB inventory auth2. Because in the previous global sourcing rule, we stopped till RB inventory auth2, right? Now, what if there's no enough quantity in RB inventory auth2 as well? Then what happens? Then it will refer the local sourcing rule. Then we have three options. We want to transfer from some other organization, we can do that. We can make it at inventory auth2, do the manufacturing, or we can buy from a supplier. So for now, I will just give it as buy from someone. Maybe Midtown, that's a famous supplier. Supplier site. Let me choose this one. Supplier source system OPS, rank 100, rank 1. Okay. So now we are telling the GOP if there's no enough supply in RB inventory auth2 in the global sourcing rule, then come to this local sourcing rule of RB inventory auth2. This is it. Now click on save and close.
Raj, just one question.
Hmm.
We can't have an a supplier sourced and internal log with the allocation of 50-50.
No, that is sadly not supported. So as I told you, only 100% is supported in the standard Oracle Fusion. So if you want to have that, then you need to buy a PaaS license. So in that only you can customize.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So that's the reason we had to go with 100% allocation. Rank 1, inventory org1, rank 2, inventory org2. No supplier in inventory org2. Then we can either buy from a supplier, make in a manufacturing warehouse, or transfer from some other warehouse. Those three options we saw in the local sourcing rule. Now, let me copy this sourcing rule as well in our data sheet. Oh, I have already called, no. Now, the next task is manage assignment sets. So we need to map these two sourcing rules to our items and organization, right? Otherwise, how will the GOP know? So for that, we need to go to a task known as manage assignment sets. Here it is. Manage assignment set. Click on plus to create your own assignment set. Now let me type it in RV assignment set. Catalog is okay. Click on plus. Now, again, assignment levels are these many. All right. So from least preferred to the most preferred. Not preferred, I mean like if you give item and organization and item, the item one will be considered. It will have a higher priority. So first I will give it as item. What was my item? RV printers. So always you need to associate your item to a global sourcing rule. Item cannot be associated with a local sourcing rule, right? Only the local sourcing rule has organization. Sourcing type would be sourcing rule. And what was my sourcing rule? RV global sourcing rule. So let me just, here it is, RV sourcing rule global. That's it. Now I will create one more association that will be for item and organization. So what is my item? RV printers. Now sourcing type, sourcing rule, and this time so before we relate this, we need to sync it up. So the reason it is not coming is because we need to sync our sourcing local sourcing rule. We need to run that GOP process. Then we can sync the sourcing rule, local sourcing rule as well. So now we have done this. Let's cross that. And let's keep only the global sourcing rule. And once we define the shipping setups, right? So now the local sourcing rule needs some shipping setups. Shipping as in manage transit times, manage inter-org parameters. So there has to be inter-org parameters between these two orgs, between inventory org 1 and inventory org 2. There has to be some of the inter-org parameters set up. Then only we can make use of local sourcing rule for this organization. Till now, it will not appear over here. So for now, I've defined my global sourcing rule over here. So this should be enough for now. And then after I do the shipping setups, I will come here again and associate my local sourcing rule as well. For now, this should be enough. Click on save and close.
Raj,
Yeah.
sorry to interrupt you. Can you just explain once again the local rule?
Okay. 1 second. Manage sourcing rule. First, let me go to the global rule and explain you. So we are telling the GOP to first consider RV inventory org 1 to supply the goods to the customer. Rank 1. Then we are telling the GOP if there is not enough on-hand quantity in org 1, consider org 2, RV inventory org 2. But what if there are not enough quantities even in org 2? Then the GOP will go to the local sourcing rule of inventory org 2. Then it will go to this local sourcing rule of inventory org 2. And in local sourcing rule, we always associate the organization. In this case, we have associated our inventory org 2. Now, under this, we have three options: buy from, make at, transfer from. So now if you have more organizations, you can transfer from there. Or you can manufacture at your place, or you can buy from a supplier. So I have chosen buy from till now. So this is my local sourcing rule. Then after creating both the rules, I need to create an assignment set. So what is my assignment set? RV. So this assignment set I have created, and I've associated my item RV printers to the global sourcing rule. Now I also need to associate my item and organization. So my items would be RV printers, and my organization would be RV inventory org 2. But my local sourcing rule will not come. Okay, now it is coming. It took time to get in sync. Now it is coming. Yes, great. Okay. So now we have defined both the rows. For item, always for any item, there has to be two rows. Always remember this: global and local. Now global says at the item level, first this is being considered global, in which our items RV printers will be shipped from either org 1 or org 2. If there is not enough quantity in org 2, then this will be considered for inventory org 2. And our local sourcing rule, which says buy from Midtown supplies, will be considered. So this is the scenario we have created. Now I will click on save and close. Click on search the, yeah. Click on save and close again. Save and close again.
So for all the items, we need to define both the rules?
Yes, global and local.
Okay.
Yeah. See, local means you're, okay, suppose if there is always, you're very sure that, there will always be quantities in your warehouse, all right, then you can skip local. See, in my case, I'm being very cautious, and I'm telling that if there's not enough quantity in org 2, then go with the local. Like if you feel the need that you don't need to define the local, then you can skip that. I mean, it depends upon the need, but I'm creating additional cautious measure. And for the demo purpose as well, to show you the utility of the local rule, I have created this.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So assignment set we have defined. Now we will go ahead with the last setup of our GOP. Now this assignment set, now what is the assignment set? Where is our assignment here? Manage assignment set. Type in RV. This is our assignment set. Click on edit. So we have defined these two in our assignment set. And now this assignment set has to be somewhere, right? So we need to go to this task, manage administrator profile values. So go to your setup and I'll go to setup and maintenance and go to a global search. Manage administrator profile values, enter. Then application I will choose as global order promising. Then click on search. Now, MSP default assignment set. So as of now, our default assignment set is something else. Whatever assignment set we have defined, what is the assignment set we have defined? Okay, this I'm not listed here. We have defined a RV assignment set, right? So that assignment set, we need to bring it over here. Then only our GOP will work. So this is a default assignment set, which the GOP will take into consideration at that point of time while creating an order. So now let me search for my assignment set. Here it is, RV assignment set. This is it. So this is the last step of GOP, global order promising. Click on save and close. That's it. So now I have done the GOP setups. What do I have to do? I have to go to home. Now, where is my supply chain planning? Plan inputs, collect to the right task pane, collect planning data. OPS, targeted. Now we can just choose this one. Order orchestration reference objects. We can just choose this after defining GOP. That's it. Click on submit. So now it will run in the background to get all the GOP defined data in sync. So this is the GOP setups, what we have defined. And we have ran the collect planning data. So this is a GOP setup. Any doubts till here? So you guys will have to practice this. There are not many setups in GOP, but these setups are very critical for our order management to schedule the order. So let me see in the background if it is running or not. Go to tools, schedule process. Yes, it is running. All the things related to GOP is getting synced, right? Okay. So now if I go to the orchestration sheet, our schedule and reserve setups are done, right? Now we will do the pick and ship setups. Yes. So now manage FOB lookup. So you see this thing on your screen, right? In shipping and order management page, you see FOB. So freight on board. At what point the responsibility will transfer from the supplier to the buyer? Is it at the origin only, or at the destination, or at some midpoint? Like when? So till now we're using the predefined FOB. Now let me configure our own FOB. We will go to manage FOB lookup, but before that, let me make note of the assignment set. RV assignment set. So that's it, right? ATP rule, sourcing rule, global, local, and assignment set. These are the GOP setups. Okay. Now let's go to picking and shipping setups, which is the third step in the orchestration process. So I will define my own FOB. So go to the task manage FOB lookup. From here, setup and maintenance. We are in the manufacturing and supply chain materials management offering. So you can search from here. Suppose you don't want to keep on changing your offering. You can just go to global search and type your task name. So that comes under procurement. Here it is, manage FOB lookup. So you can see term specifying at which point the responsibility for goods being shipped is transferred from seller to the buyer. And you have many predefined and custom made data as well. Origin, our destination, shipping point, then carrier paid to, carriage and insurance paid to, delivered at terminal. There are many custom made data, right? So let us create our own data, click on plus. And this data we will use where? In the order management. Let us give it as RV destination. Give the sequence as suppose 1. Give the start date somewhere in the beginning. Give the meaning as well. And give the description as well. That's it. RV destination. Yeah. Click on save and close. So now again, this data will not be there in your sales order after defining it, right? This will not be there. If you click on this drop down, it will not be there. So after defining all the shipping setups, again, we have to run collect planning data. Collection job we have to run again. In a similar manner, let us define the freight terms lookup. So freight means what? Term specifying which party, buyer or seller, pays for shipment and loading cost. So this is more of a procurement concept. This is actually not needed in order management. This does not come into the picture. So, but I'll just tell you how to define that. Click on plus. See, in a similar manner. So RV seller pays for the shipping cost and all that. 1 on meaning description. Click on save and close. So manage carriers we have already looked at yesterday. Let me go there again. Manage carriers. What was the carrier we had defined? RV carrier. This is the carrier we had defined. And we had given service level as next day air, the mode of transport air. And we have associated both of our inventory orgs with this carrier. So this is the most important part. Okay. Now, after these lookup, the very important setups are now coming. Manage transit times. Click there. Go to manage transit times. This would be under manufacturing and supply chain. Go there. Go to this task manage transit times. So before I configure this, I will tell you the utility of this task. So go to manage orders page, switch to fulfillment view. So there is a section known as scheduled arrival date, right? So the GOP calculates scheduled arrival date on the basis of transit times that we define. So how much time does it take for our inventory org 1 after shipping to reach our RV2 customer? How much time does that take? So that we give it in the managed transit times. And on the basis of this, our GOP calculates the scheduled arrival date. Suppose I ship it today on 1st of September, and it takes 5 days to ship from our warehouse to the customer's location. Then the GOP will compute the arrival date as 6th of September, right? And this is also applicable when you ship it from one org to another org, right? In case of transfer orders, you ship it right from one organization to another organization. So that also we give it in the transit time. How much time does it take? to ship it from one org to another org. So for those we need to define the managed transit times. So give plus, give origin type as internal location. Now what is our location? Go to search, type RV location 1. Now if you remember, RV location 1 is linked with inventory org 1 and RV2 location is linked with inventory org 2. So I think one of you were asking me, right, why do we need to link the location to the inventory org? So this is the reason. If we want to define these transit times and inter-org parameters, which would be an upcoming task, and for it to work effectively, we need to link these inventory orgs in the locations, what we had done yesterday. So RV1 location is for inventory org 1. So I will choose this. Now destination type would be ship to address. And over here, we need to give the customer details. So who is our customer? RV2. Yes, RV2 customer. Click on OK. And then click on assign shipping method. What would be the shipping method? RV carrier. And transit time is in days. So this is the most important one. How many days does it take to ship it from our inventory org 1 to customer? Suppose I give it 4 days. And default shipping method. I want to default this shipping method in my order. I mean in my shipment. Then you can give other details as well. Weight capacity in your warehouse, normal currency, volume capacity, UAM. So if you want, you can give these additional things as well, but this is not required. In our case, I'll click on save. Now in a similar fashion, click on plus, internal location. And I will do the same for RV location 2, which is associated with our second inventory org. Ship to address. And this would again be RV2 customer. Yes, assign shipping method. And this time I will make it as 5. It takes 5 days. Okay. I will click on save. Now I will also give the transit times between these two organizations as well. So suppose in the future, I need to ship it from RV inventory org 2 to 1. So we also need that as well, right? So for that, I will give it as plus internal location. Let me click on the drop down. RV location 1 to internal location, RV location 2. It takes how many days? It takes just 2 days. Shipping method RV. Okay. And I will do the vice versa as well. Internal location, RV location 2 to 1 this time. It takes how many days? 2 days. So both to and fro from these organizations takes 2 days.
Right. Sorry, I didn't get this part. I'm not getting this particular part.
Which part?
This location 1 to location 1, location 2 to location 2.
Okay. The earlier part you got, right? The
Yes,
customer
yes.
one.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, suppose you are defining a transfer order, and in the future, I will be showing you the transfer order as well. And you are shipping from location to inventory org 2 to location 1, inventory org 1. Then in that
Yeah.
case, how many days does it take? So it takes 2 days
Yes.
for the inventory org 2 for the location 2 to ship it to location 1.
Okay.
So inter-org transfers. Otherwise, you just need these two from your location to the customer. And each of these
Okay.
locations are associated with your inventory orgs, right? If you remember.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah.
Raj, just one question.
Mhm.
So if the first two rows, right, what we see on the screen. So basically, these are two for the GOP to default the scheduled arrival date, is it?
Yes, exactly. All
Okay.
these, not only the first two, all these are for your GOP to default the arrival date.
Yeah,
So
sorry. I
now,
mean, all the, yeah. Okay.
yeah,
Okay,
because
thank you.
yeah, okay,
So from the bottom, what we are saying is that from location 1 to the
Hmm.
customer, it will take 2 days. From location 2 to the customer, it will take 4 days. And then the third one, from location 1 to location 2, this is between org now, internal.
yes.
Am I right?
So we are telling in the first row, if you're seeing RV location 1 to RV2 customer, we
Yeah.
are just telling that it takes 4 days to ship it
Yes.
from our location 1 to the customer's location.
Yes.
And in the bottom second row, we are telling it takes 5 days to ship it from our location to
To
the customer's location. Yes. So these both
And
are for
what-
customers, and the top
Okay.
two are for inter-org transfers.
Inter-org. Okay, then. Thank you.
Yeah, from one inventory to another inventory.
Okay.
So I'm configuring even these two now so that I can show you inter-org transfers as well in the future.
So the inter-org transfer will be for internal orders. Am I right?
Not only for internal orders, for back-to-back orders. Like suppose you
Okay.
do not have enough quantity in inventory org 1, right? So you're creating a back-to-back order and you're taking the quantity from some other warehouse to your warehouse.
Okay.
So
Thank
yeah,
you.
I will be showing you that. That is an advanced fulfillment technique of back-to-back order. So just pay attention to these two. Okay, the bottom two now. Okay, these two are for future purpose.
But does that mean, Raj, that for every customer, shipment to every customer, should we have a row in our in the setup?
Yeah, we should have. Otherwise, how will the GOP know? See, GOP does not use AI. It uses the data we have defined. So the scheduled arrival date, it is coming from where? It is coming from this setup, managed transit time setup. There's no other setup which is present, which will tell the GOP of the days, right?
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, then I will go to the next setup, which is manage inter-org parameters. So just pay attention. This is not for a standard order. This is for a transfer order, which would be upcoming. So let's configure that. Manage inter-organization parameters. Click on plus. So this is basically you want to ship it from inventory 1 to inventory 2 or inventory 2 to inventory 1. Like you want to ship it internally, right? Not for a standard sales order. So don't get confused. So from organization 1, which is RV org 1 to RV org 2. UM distance you can mention, transfer order required. So inventory destination transfer type would be direct or in transit. Direct means the receiving organization will not require any kind of receipt. If you make it in transit, the receiving organization will require a receipt. And receipt routing can be direct, inspection, standard. Direct means one step receiving. Standard means you will have to receive it and in a staging area and put away in the inventory, 2-step. And the inspection would be a 3-step, wherein you also have to do the inspection. So I will make it as direct. In the expense destination also receipt required and direct. That's it. This is for the future purpose setup. So this we will again touch upon when we do the transfer order. RV inventory org 2 to RV inventory org 1 transfer order required direct, make it in transit, direct. Okay. So if you want to ship between these two organizations anything, then these both setups are required: inter-org parameters and transit times between these two organizations, to and fro, 2 to 1, 1 to 2. That's it. Just understand that much from here. So now we are done with the basic setups. We have established our master data for shipping. Now let's see the real picking and shipping setups. So in the earlier classes, I had shown you, let me go to the orchestration cycle, that after scheduling and reserving, we do the picking and shipping. So if you can recall, yeah,
Raj, in that configuration, in transit configuration, do we have any transfer price, anything that we can add?
no. Transfer price will be in the supply chain orchestration area. Like, so it comes under the advanced supply chain planning configurations. In order
Okay.
management, that is not available.
Okay.
So you can
okay.
add a shipping cost and all that. See, you can, there are 2-3 ways in order management. You can configure your pricing, and we have included the freight cost, as you could see. Then even at the time of shipping, we can add one cost, which we will come into
Yeah.
manage shipping cost types. So these are the 2-3 ways we can add our handling cost or freight cost.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. If you can go on mute. I think someone is speaking.
मुझे बच्चे की तरह इधर से उठा तो उधर से उठा तो तेरी सारी बातें सुनता हूँ।
Priya, can you put Chandresh on mute? Yeah. Okay. So now, can anyone tell me the pick and ship process, what we had seen in, a couple of our demos earlier? If whatever you can recall from pick and ship process. Okay. So after we do the scheduling and reserving, I have shown you that we create a pick wave, we pick release it, we pick confirm it, and we ship confirm it. So this is a standard process behind picking and shipping. So what does creating pick wave and pick release means? It means that we are moving our customer ordered item from our sub inventory to a staging area, right? Then pick confirm means the warehouse personnel has moved it to the staging area and is confirming it by pick confirm. And ship confirm means the shipping manager or the shipping agent is loading your goods from the staging sub inventory to the truck and going en route to the customer. So after he has left your warehouse, he will do the ship confirmation. So we had seen this process while creating our standard flow, but there are some background configurations behind this, without which it will not work, which we come into the picking and shipping setups, which begins from here. Manage release sequence rule. So let's go there, and let me show it to you. So you always have to do it in a sequential manner. So let me go there. Manage release sequence rules. So let's create our own sequence rule. Click on plus. RV release sequence rule. Just let me make sure I have named everything, or I can do that later. That's okay. Yeah. So now it will tell us in what priority do we want to pick release our item. So these are the options, whether on the basis of sales order, initial ship date, schedule ship date, shipment priority. So on what basis do we want to release our orders? So I will give it as sales order. So sales order would be the priority one. Like that, we can give other priorities as well. and we can do it in ascending or descending fashion. So when I say shipment priority, so there is this task in your sales order, shipment priority. So suppose there are n number of sales order, right? And you want to release it on the basis of shipment priority. You can give it over your high and you can release it on the basis of shipment priority for
Raj,
number of sales order. Yeah.
Yes, sorry. When you say sales order, based on sales order, right? What does it consider? Like,
Yeah, so it considers, suppose you have a sales order of day to day, right? And there are 100 of shipment lines in that sales order. And then you have a sales order with the date tomorrow. So it will
Okay.
first consider all the 100 lines in that sales order of today
Okay, got
in
it.
a
Okay.
sequential fashion. Now, suppose I give schedule shipment date as the first priority. So even though you have a sales order for today and tomorrow, but for tomorrow's sales order, you have a schedule ship date of before, right? Then it will consider tomorrow's sales order.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah. So in our case, I will give it as sales order as a priority one, and other priorities I do not need. Let's simplify. Let's keep it simple. And this is how we want to release it. Okay. RB release sequence rule, save and close. That's it. As simple as that. So there's no complication in this step. All right. Then we will go to the second setup. So when we create our standard order, we will keep making changes to these setups, and I will show you to and fro. So now I'm configuring a simple setup so that we can ship it. I mean a standard setup, not a simple one. Pick slip grouping rule. So I will tell you what this one does. Pick slip grouping rules. Go there. Click on plus. RV pick slip grouping rule. Okay. So whenever we pick release our thing, pick wave, right? There's a pick slip report which gets generated. So how does that pick slip you want to group it? You want to group it by order number or by item or by customer? How do you want to group it? So that gets decided by this pick slip grouping rule. So I want to group it by order number. I do not want to group it by shipment. Then we can just skip order number and save and close. That's it. This has only this much functionality, nothing much. Click on done. Now the third setup is manage pick wave release rules. But before coming to the pick wave release rules, we need to make sure we have defined our shipping configurations. Otherwise, this will not work. So we do the pick wave, right? As a first step, what we do is we do a pick wave. So we can do a pick wave without any rule, or we can have a pick wave release rule to customize it. I mean to automate it. So we first create a pick wave. So there's a rule for this as well. Then we pick confirm, ship confirm. So for every step, there is a rule. And it will be more clear when I'm doing the end-to-end transactions for this BO. So let's see that. So before I can come to pick wave release rules, let me go with the other setups because this will not work until I've defined my shipping setups. Let's go to manage shipping cost types. Yeah, so this manage shipping cost types, click on plus. So let's name it RV shipping cost. So it has these many categories. So if you want to record some cost at the time of ship confirming or creating shipment, then you can make use of this configuration. And when you're creating a shipment, this will auto-populate. So I will show you at the time when I'm creating a transaction. So as of now, let's record our shipping cost, right? And let's say the amount for the shipping would be 30, right? And that's it, save and close. So we have created our shipping cost of RV shipping cost, and this I will be showing you when I'm creating a shipment. But to record any cost, we need to define it here first.
So does that get automatically applied or?
No, we need to apply it, but you will have these in the options.
Okay.
So whenever you're creating a shipment, you will have this as an option. So you will not have to enter the amount again, right? As soon as you select AS shipping cost, the amount, category, everything will auto-populate.
Okay, got it.
So all the setups will be very relevant, when I'm creating a transaction again, the entire O2C cycle again. But to create it again, I need all these setups, right? Then the ship confirm rules. So after picking, we do the ship confirm, right? So there is a rule behind it. Otherwise, we cannot do the ship confirm. So let's go to the manage ship confirm rules. So this, as of now, this might be looking very complicated to you, but when you practice it, there are only 5 rules in a sequential fashion for entire picking and shipping. That's it. You will get used to it after practicing, 2-3 times. Now it might look complicated to you, but like after you have created the O2C cycle once or twice, it will look very easy to you. It will be like mechanical in nature. So now ship confirm rules. Let me name it RV ship confirm rule. Now you see many options, right? Let me explain you. So ship with requested quantities or shipped quantities. Now if you give requested quantities, the quantities will automatically come, right? Whatever quantities is there in the order, you can default that. If you give ship quantities, then it will give you the provision to change the quantity. Like you can define your own ship quantities, but it will not be automatic. Then create shipment for remaining staged quantities. So it will, like when you click on create shipment, it will create a shipment for all the quantities which have been pick confirmed. Close shipment, that means, once you create shipment for all the quantities, it will close the shipment in the background. This has no functionality in the, in the front end. And this is very important setup. Defer sending inventory updates to integrated application. So this you need to uncheck. The reason is what this does. So suppose after you have ship confirmed, right? After you have ship confirmed your shipping, our orchestration cycle goes from awaiting shipping to shipped, then awaiting billing. But if you tick this box, defer sending updates, then even after you have ship confirmed it, it will not go to shipped and awaiting billing. You will have to manually run this process. Send this, there's one more process which you have to manually run, send shipment advice. Yes. This process you will have to manually run, send shipment advice. If you want the status to go from awaiting shipping to shipped or awaiting billing. So many a times this feature is used by organizations, when they don't want the shipping to come automatically. They want to apply a pause feature. And when it is shipped, they manually want to update the status. So in that case, it might be useful, right? But if you want to automate the process orchestration cycle change from awaiting shipping to shipped, awaiting billing, then you need to untick that. Yeah, then this is it we need. Overriding shipping method, if you want to override the shipping method, whatever was used in the previous picking or pick confirm, you can choose any of that. Then these are the predefined document set. So that's it. Only this much you need to take into consideration. Save and close.
That just, okay.
Yeah, I'll go there again. Do not worry. Tell me.
I'm not very clear on that. Requested quantities versus ship quantities.
Okay. I'll show it to you. So let me go to the ship quantities. So when you go to the ship quantities, what are the options you're seeing? You're seeing this additional option, right? Options if
Okay.
shipped quantities aren't manually entered.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, okay.
Then
Yeah,
you can choose ship requested quantities. So
okay,
if you don't enter them manually, then what should be your action? See, you want to default it, right? Yeah. If you
Okay,
use ship
fine.
quantities, then if you choose back order, Then suppose while at the time of shipping, you are requesting 5 quantities, you leave it blank. Then all the 5 quantities will be back ordered.
Back order. Okay.
If you choose ship requested quantities, then even if you give it as blank, all the 5 quantities will be shipped,
Shipped.
even if you have that field as blank. Right?
Okay, understood.
That's it.
Thank you.
Yeah, so keep asking me questions like you have asked me. That's a good thing. Okay. So again, this will be more clear when I'm running my O2C cycle. Okay, now what do I have to do? I've done the ship confirm. Now let's give me a minute. I'll have some order. Then I'll continue with the shipping parameters. Okay. So manage shipping parameters. So this is the next task. So now I'm going to define my shipping parameter for inventory org1. So this is defined on an inventory basis. See all the 3 release sequence, pick slip, and ship confirm rules were not defined on the basis of inventory org, but this is defined on the basis of your inventory organization. So now we need to define it for both the inventory org. Same thing. So let me change my inventory org to RV inventory org1. Okay. Yes, RV inventory org1 is appearing. So I will show you some of the very important setups in this page. First of all, shipment creation criteria across orders or within order. So whenever you're creating a shipment, you want to create a shipment across all orders or within the same order. So let it be across orders. Now ship confirm rule, the one which we have created, RV ship confirm previously. We need to link it over here. Ship confirm rule. Weight class, it will be weight only. This is basically, you calculate weight and volume while creating a shipment. So how do you want to have the class? So it is always weight and volume. You don't need to do anything over here. Then these 2, release sequence rule and pick slip grouping rule. So we have created both of these, right? Now this is a place wherein we need to link these 2. So where is our RV? RV release sequence rule, pick slip grouping rule. RV pick slip grouping rule. So now we are linking both the rules what we have created to this shipping parameter. And staging sub-inventory. It is mandatory for us to give the staging sub-inventory. So RV stage 1. This is the one we had defined for this org. Now, if you additionally want to group your shipment, you can choose. So I'm choosing customer. If you want to, group it further, then let me go on the. So if you want to also automatically pack it or enforce packing, then you can tick these boxes. So we are not enforcing any kind of packing. Otherwise, there's one more option, create packing. Then
So these setups are applicable only at the inventory org level, right? Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Then on the right hand side, there is enforce shipping method. So while at the time of shipping, if you want to enforce shipping method, so you want to make it mandatory for a person shipping manager to enter the shipping method, you can give this. And then allow future ship date. So you want to, deviate from the requested ship date or the ship date coming from the order management, and you want to give the future ship date while shipping, you can, enable this. Then again, defer sending inventory updates to integrated applications. What we had seen in the ship confirm rule, that option we have it even here. So uncheck this, right? Then this is for quick ship. So this I will explain you later. If you want to have quick ship means if you want to bypass the picking. So many organizations do not have a separate staging area. They are small organizations. So they do not have the mechanism for picking, then moving it to a staging area. Their warehouses is very small, right? So there's no need for picking. So you just ship it. So in that case, you can enable quick ship. So we will see this later. I am showing you the standard shipping cycle, and then create shipment says ticked, and we're not using any shipment sets. So this is it. This is the bare minimum configuration we need for creating a shipping parameter. Don't look at other options. So this should be enough. Now integrations and all, if you want to have outbound integration, then you can transactional events. All these are for integration, the bottom three. So we do not want to have any kind of integration as of now. So I think this should be enough. I'm just cross-checking if I've given everything. Yes. So I will click on save and close. And I will go to shipment parameters again, change organization. Same thing I have to do for my second inventory org. Yes. So ship confirm rule was what? RV ship confirm rule. Weight class was weight only. And volume class was volume only. And then we do not want to enforce any shipping method. Release sequence rule was RV. Release sequence rule, pick slip grouping rule was, where is RV pick slip grouping rule?
It's there, RV pick slip.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you. Staging some inventory would be RV stage 2, create shipments, customer. So yeah, for this as well, we have given everything we should have. That's it. This should be enough to create our shipping parameters. Save and close. So now we have defined the parameters for shipping, ship confirm rules and shipping parameters. And for picking as well, we have done a couple of setups. Release sequence and pick slip grouping rule. The one thing which we have not done is pick wave release rule. So this is a first step in picking, right? Where you create a pick wave, you pick release, you pick confirm. So now we will jump on to manage pick wave release rules. Go there, click on plus. So this again has a lot of parameters which I will explain you. RV, pick, wave, release, rule 1. So this is also based on the inventory org, like your ship parameters. RV pick wave release rule 1. Now I'll go to the demand selection page, ship from organization. So this would be RV inventory org 1. We are defining it for the inventory org 1. Then you can leave sub inventory as blank. Order type. So this you can give it at the time of creating a pick wave. I'll leave these as blank. If you want to automate, you can give a waiver, but there might be many other types of order as well, right? Transfer order, return order. So leave it as blank. Shipping method, if you want to default, you can give it over here. So this is basically for defaulting purpose. When you create a pick wave as a first step, you want to default certain things, you can use pick wave release rule. That's it. In this page, only this much we need to give.
Where are
Then
we
go
specifying the org, the inventory org?
here, shift from organization.
Okay.
Then go to options. Now here, it is mandatory for us to give the staging sub inventory for each organization. So in our case, it is RV stage 1. It is coming from the shipping setups. And you can see The release sequence rule, pick slip grouping rule is also defaulting, the ones what we had defined. So this is also defaulting from the shipping setups what we had done for this organization. Now there is now create shipments. So after pick wave, if you want to create shipments, you can tick this. Now there's an option to auto confirm picks. So till now we were doing the pick confirm manually, right? We were creating a pick wave, pick release, then pick confirm. So now if you want to automate the pick confirm process, you just create a pick wave and pick release it. Pick confirm will happen automatically after a while for this organization. Then you can tick this auto confirm picks. That's it. And this is all we need. If I go on the first line, see other things, if you want to default while creating a pick wave, you can give, but it will restrict your pick wave creation if you will give other things. You can always override, but this much should be enough. I will click on save and close. And I will do the same with second org. Plus, this time pick wave release to ship from organization will be RV inventory org 2. Then I will give the shipping method RV. Then go to the second tab of options. RV stage 2 is defaulting and both the release and grouping is defaulting. So yeah, this is it. You're not clicking on auto confirm picks because we want to manually confirm it. Then, I can show you the different iterations later. But for now, this should be enough. So with this, we are done with all the shipping setups as well. All the shipping setups. Picking and shipping setups. Now this setup which you are seeing on my screen, manage receiving parameters, this will be used when you are getting a return from your customer, right? So to accept a return, your organization RV inventory org 1 and RV inventory org 2 should have the receiving parameters configured. So this will be used when I'm showing you the return thing, like how to create a customer return. So this also I will configure now to keep it ready with all my configurations. And I will explain you all the parts in that as well. Manage receiving parameters. So again, this is not part of picking and shipping. This is part of receiving when you're accepting the return from the customer or when you are procuring something from a supplier. In that time, this is mandatory to be configured. For picking and shipping, these many setups are more than enough in a sequential way. So let me go to manage receiving parameters. Change my organization. Let's first do it for RV inventory org 2 only. That should be okay. So in this case, what is relevant to us is this RMA, return material authorization. So this is used when we are accepting the return from the customer, sales order return. So you have only two options: valid lots, leave it as blank. We are not having any lots and all. Receipt routing, again, these three options, which I have explained to you. Direct delivery, one step receiving process. You receive it and put away in your inventory at one step. Standard receipt, you have a two-step wherein you receive it in your staging sub inventory, and from staging area you put it to your stores as a put away. And inspection required is a three-step wherein you receive it in your staging sub inventory, then you inspect it. If the quality is good, you move it to a storage sub inventory. If it is not good, you return it back, or you keep it in some other sub inventory, trash sub inventory or outdated sub inventory, something like that. So I will have the receipt routing as direct delivery. Receipt number generation method, let it be automatic. Type numeric. Next number, let it be 333. Now, the other options are there. Over receipt action. What if you should be receiving 5? You're receiving 10. Reject. I do not want to allow over receipt. Receipt routing will be direct again. So this is for supplier receipts. This receipt routing. And I will just tick this print receipt traveler. So whenever we are receiving anything, when we are receiving the return from the customer, it will print the receipt traveler report in the background. So that report will have all the information. It will be a very comprehensive report. It will have the receipt number, customer name, the person who is accepting it, what date it was received, where it was kept, everything it will have. So I will show you when I'm showing you the return orders flow. Then print shipping documents for dropship orders and print shipping documents for return to suppliers. Print shipping documents for return material authorization. These three I will check. Receipt days exceed action, maybe none. If we are exceeding the receipt days, and then we do not want to define any tolerances. So this should be enough, right? We do not need anything else. The bare minimum setups we are doing for our receiving. Allow routing override. If I tick this, then at the time of receiving, the receipt routing is direct delivery. I can override it and I can make it as standard or inspection required if you allow this. Then these are tolerances. Early receipt tolerance in days, late receipt tolerance in days. So suppose you should be receiving it tomorrow, but you're receiving it in the future or very early. So how early or how late can you receive? So these are the tolerances which controls that. So I think this should be enough. And I will click on this next number. I will make it as 300. It looks good. Save and close. Now I will do the same for my org1. Change organization. RB inventory org1. Now same thing. Over receipt action. Reject receipt routing direct. None. Restraint. That's it. And these four. Okay, let me also quickly tell you about these four. So these are basically the advanced receiving concepts. So if you want to allow the substitute receipts, like you have ordered for item 1 and you want to receive you want to create a receipt for some other item, then you can enable substitute receipts. Allow unordered receipt. So suppose you have not ordered for some item, right? And then you want to receive it, then you can enable this checkbox. Enforce blind receiving. So suppose you have, like whenever you're receiving, I think someone is speaking in the background.
Yes. Yeah, it's Chandresh or something like that. Can you get him to mute?
I don't have that access. Okay, he's gone quiet. Okay. Yeah. So see, these four are advanced receipt concepts. We do not make use of these in our order management return receiving. But I'm just explaining you for your knowledge. Allow unordered receipt. So even if a customer has not ordered anything, right? Or like even if you have not you have not received any orders, then also you can create an unordered receipt and enforce blind receiving. So at the time of receiving, there is this button, show receipt quantity. So when you click on that, it will automatically show you the number of quantities you should be receiving. So suppose if you do not want that button, right? You want the receiving agent to actually count. Then you can enable enforce blind receiving, so that the receiving agent will manually have to count and then enter the receipt quantity. So this much configuration should be enough. Click on save and close. So with this, we have configured all the picking and shipping setups as well as receiving parameters. Okay.
Is this one like this?
Priya, can you put him on mute?
Yeah. They're not hearing anymore.
Yeah. Is Priya there? Priya or Anita?
होना चाहिए
Hi
ना
Raj,
मैं सोच रही हूँ
we are not having access to mute the participants.
Yeah.
Only
जब
host
हमने
can.
आप सोच के पकड़ा था
Yeah.
ये
So can you tell Tanmay?
I'll find a way to sort it out. Yeah, I'll tell him.
Yeah, just tell Tanmay to mute him.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so Tanmay is basically the host, so he's not in the meeting, so only he can mute him. Okay, anyways.
Okay.
Yeah. So Chandresh, can you please go on mute if you're listening? So it will help the other participant as well to listen. Okay. So I'll just have some water, then I'll continue. Okay. So now we are done with the GOP setups. We are done with the picking and shipping setups and receiving setup as well. So these are the, these are all the setups we need to do to enable our inventory org, our business unit to go through this orchestration cycle, schedule, reserve, shipping, billing, everything. And now what do we have to do? We have done so many setups. For the GOP,
Raj, in the receiving parameters, we don't give any accounting details.
no, nothing. Accounting data are given in cost management.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So we have done all the picking, shipping setups. Now we need to run collect planning for the GOP server to read all these changes. So I will go to supply chain planning, plan inputs, and task pane, collect planning data. Source system OPS, collection type targeted, because we have created many things newly, right? And I will put everything here. It also has carriers and all that. Unit of measure, everything I'll put here. Supply chain data also, I'll put everything here to make sure everything gets collected appropriately. Submit. Click on OK. So that's all. So we have done the pricing setup, GOP setup, picking and shipping setups. And in OM setups, I had shown you these many, but we will come to this again. I will show you this again. But these are not as necessary now as the AR invoice setup. So in our orchestration process, schedule, reserve, and shipping, picking, shipping is done. The only thing remaining is billing. So for that as well, we have few setups, which I will be doing now. Then the predefined OM setups we can use if we want. AR invoice setup. So first we will create a payment term, manage receivables payment term. So till now, what payment terms we were using? We were using the predefined payment terms, net 30 or something, right? Now we will create our own payment term. So these setups, what I'm showing you now, is basically a AR setup done by the finance team. So I'm just showing you on a high level so that we can do the end-to-end cycle for our inventory org and for our manage receivables payment terms. Click on that. Click on plus. Now payment term set. I will choose as common set. Name I will give it as RV net 30. Then discount basis and all. So I'll give it as invoice amount. We can give a discount on invoice amount. This is how your AR invoice would be generated. We are computing that installment option, allocate tax and freight. So this is basically done by the finance team. They calculate all these things. So the one which are important for us is payment term set as common set, and in the payment schedule, this means 100% of the payment. 100% of the payment we are expecting in 30 days. That is why it is net 30. Now there is a discount section as well. So if you click on that, so this means I will give customer 5% of discount if I receive the payment in 10 days. And then you can give a plus. I will give the customer, 10% of discount if I receive the payment in 5 days. So this discount also you can give if you want. But in my case, it will not be any discount. The customer has to give us the payment in 30 days. 100% of the payment in 30 days. That's it. That is why RV net 30, as simple as that. Save and close. So see, other payment terms are defined like this. Like suppose if I open 2/20 net 30. So this means give 100% of the payment in 30 days. But if you give all the payment in 20 days, we will give you 2% discount. That is why 2/20, the name, right? So like that, the names are kept while defining payment terms. Net 15, full payment in 15 days. Immediate, we want the payment immediately. No net 30 or 15, I am delivering the order, I want the payment today only. So these are the various payment terms what we can use. So I've defined my own payment terms, RV payment term. Then go to the second task, manage receivable system options. So this system option, the AI or the finance team creates for every business unit, right? For every business unit, it is created. So you got on mute. Yeah. I just want to make sure that I am not put on mute. Yeah. Okay. So we have our own business. RV business unit. So before we were using USI one business unit. That is why the AI team would have defined the system options for it. Now we need to define the same for RB business unit so that it can become enabled for billing, for invoicing. So I will click on plus and I will give the business unit name as RB. Go to advanced, starts with RB, then it will come. See, these are small glitches in Oracle. So only when you practice, you can, come to know. When I gave RB, it didn't come. I had to give starts with RB, then it came. Yeah, so the ledger is defaulting. Now these settings, right? These are some of the default settings, which I'm not very much aware of. These are basically done by the finance team. So I will just do the bare minimum setup, what I have noted down. So in our field, we will never create these setups as part of order management implementation. For this, there is a training for account receivables finance, and they will do this. So in my 10 years of tenure, I've never configured AR in any order management implementation because that is solely handled by your finance team, tax, AR, AP, cash management, creating banks and all that. So I have a minimum configuration which I've noted down for this, and I'm going to configure it so that it works. The billing works for my BO, and I can show you the entire O2C cycle. So first, let me begin with split amount, applicable rule set. I will choose as pro rate all. Discount basis, I will choose as lines and tax and freight terms and tax. So this has no relevance in order management. Again, I'm telling you, this is only relevant for AR. Then tax account, these accounts it is asking me. I think I've noted down one default accounting here. So this I will use. Your customers will give you for whom you are implementing these accounts. Click on tab. All the mandatory fields I will populate. Cross currency rounding account, okay. Same for realized gains account. Okay. Tax invoicing print options. 1 second. Will be total tax only when completed. So now the only most important and the only one relevant setup for our order management is item validation organization. So always you have to get in touch with the AR team and tell them to update this item validation organization so that our sales order works. So my item validation organization is RV Item Master. RV Item Master is our item validation organization. And the same we had defined in the order parameters, if you can recall, or in the pricing parameters. So this is a mandatory setup. Then I will come down. Then grouping rule, let me see. Yes, grouping rule default. Then log file message level. Let's keep it 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Don't worry about this setup. Just worry about item validation organization. This is the only thing you need to do in this AR setups. Right? Go to cache processing. Now here, anything, yeah, charge due date. We will keep it as deposit date. Then come down, invoices per commit. 400. Receipts per commit. 400. I think that's all. Our receivable system options is ready. So I've done the bare minimum setup, which is mandatory for us to create a billing for this business unit, because we don't have any AR team right in this implementation, in this demo. So I've created on my own. I will just tick these both as well. I'm just cross checking if everything is given. No. Okay, I think we are good to go. RB business unit. Click on save and close. Oh, this account also I had to give. Click on save and close. And our receivable system option configuration is done. Then our last setup for the day is manage auto accounting rules. So this is very important. Just take a close look at this. Manage auto accounting rules. And I will duplicate this. And I will go to my customer. So while defining the customer, we had given some kind of accounts, right? So let me show you that as well. And we can correlate. Manage customers. Who was our customer? RV2 customer. Where is it? Oh yeah, RV2 customer. Okay. Let me query that. So if you remember, while defining this customer yesterday, we had in the site number, we had given these accounts. We had done the association of this customer to RV business unit, and we had given these accounts, right? So now for the import auto invoice to work, for us to bill it, we need to go to manage auto accounting rules, and we need to link these accounts with this business unit over here. So I will show you how that happens. So click on plus. Now choose your business unit, which is RB business unit. Click on OK and account type. So for all these account types, right, you need to associate it with the customer site, because at the site level, we have already given all the accounts. So this is the advantage. See, if you don't give it at the site level, then again, for each of the account types, you need to come here and you need to give it separately. Like if I click on the first one, these are the segments: company, LOB, account, cost center, product. So for all these segments, I've already given my accounting, right? You can see company, list of business, account, cost center. For everything, I've already defined my accounting for all the accounting types in my customer site. So you just need to come here and give a site. So the value source, you can just give it as site, and it will take the information from the customer's screen from here, from this site. So this is a last setup in receivables, so that we can create a import auto invoice billing. So these three are again done by the AR team, the finance team. But I'm doing it because I need to show you the entire O2C cycle. Site. So just bear with me. I will configure it for site for all the segments. Create another. Bills receivables. Same thing I have to do. Site, values site. So it will take me 4 minutes. Create another. Deferred tax. Site. Site. Oh, sorry, site. Same thing. It becomes very easy for us, right? Once we have defined our accounting already in the customer side. So if any of the account types is missing, then while running import auto invoice, it will give us an error that for this account type, the accounting string is not mapped. So it is a mandatory setup. So with this, even if you're having some trouble while creating a billing, you can always go back to the AR team and tell them that you have not done these 3 setups properly, and that is why I'm getting error in my order. So even from the supply chain perspective, you will be aware of the AR setup on a high level, if not in detail. So these 3 are the setups. Account type is receivable, very important. So in the meantime, you guys can ask me any doubts if you have. While I'm configuring this, I'll do multitasking of answering as well. And this would be the last setup in the entire O2C cycle. And then we will be seeing all kinds of orders and order management setups only. Our structure is established, the entire structure, the entire O2C cycle structure. So now the changes we will be making would be only in the order management tab, whatever setups you're seeing over there, right? In the 6th, 7th tab. So these setups which I've defined will be very clear when I'm showing you the end-to-end flow of order management, from scheduling, reserving, picking, shipping, billing, closing the order. Everything I will be showing you with my custom data. Now how many are remaining? 2 more, that's it. The last one. Done. So now see, all these account types are appearing. And for all these account types, we have mapped our value source with site. Click on save and close. Done. Click on done. And now we are done with all the setups, all the tabs. So from here on, we will only be touching upon the OM setups and playing around with it, with all these setups. And I will be showing you the entire O2C cycle with these setups. So now the last step is collect planning data, because we have done few setups again, right? we have done these AR setups and some picking shipping setups also we have done after that. So we will quickly go to supply chain planning, plan inputs. So before our next session, everything will be ready. Collect planning data, OPS, targeted, put everything. Supply planning data, put everything. Click on submit. That's it. So now everything will get collected in the background. So our entire structure is ready, right? So it will take some time to get collected. So the next class, I can show you the entire O2C cycle and also some variations to it. I will show you how to perform, automate pick confirm. You can just tick that and pick confirm will be automated. You will just have to create a pick web, pick release, and pick ship confirm. Then you can also automate ship confirm. I will show you. So through those rules only. See, our baseline is established, right? These 5 rules are established. Now you only need to make these minor changes in one of the rules to automate the pick confirm, to automate the ship confirm, to do the entire process manually, right? To defer the shipment, just 1 or 2 check boxes. You need to go there and tick or untick. That's it. You don't have to do any setup all over again. Even in the GOP setup, like tomorrow you create one more organization, RV inventory org 3. So you can add that in the already created global sourcing rule, right? You just have to go to the global sourcing rule and you can just add on with the already created one. So if I go to the global order promising and show you the sourcing rule. So from here on, it is just to add on to our already established structure, manage sourcing rule, RV, edit. So suppose you create one more org tomorrow, RV inventory org 3. So you just need to click on plus, give a rank as 3, 100%. If you want to replace 2 with 3 or interchange, like suppose now, you know that the inventory has like inventory org 1 you're not using, you have suspended, or you want to use it as a secondary option. So you can just interchange the rank. You can make it 2, you can make this 1, or you can add on more inventory orgs here. Now, suppose you feel that inventory org 2, the local sourcing rule of inventory org 2, this supplier is not good, midtown supplies. Then you can change the supplier. You can cross this, change the supplier over here. You can even change the option to make a transfer from. So you just need to make a few minor changes from here on to the already established structure that we have designed, right? There are no major changes. So in the next class, I will be showing you the entire O2C cycle from the already created structure. Each and everything will be our data only. We are not going to use any of the pre-existing data, right? Everything will be ours. And I will update this sheet as well. I will put all the names of the setups that we have gone through. So that also I will do. And I will tell Tanmay to, send you this sheet as soon as possible. So is that fine? Is everyone aligned?
Yes.
The file, Raj, I mean, not sure when Tanmay will be giving up. Is there any other way to share it?
No, I will tell him. So I work for OEG, so he is the person who can share it. I mean, I cannot share it directly. So what I will do is I will give him a call and I will tell him to share it on priority.
Yeah, I mean, we face the same thing for other trainings as well.
Mhm.
Not sure what the problem is. The file never gets shared.
Okay. I'll make sure this will get shared because I don't want to, keep this file and not share with you all. The purpose of me making this entire file is to share with you all only, right?
Right.
So that you can reference this and try to
Thank you.
relate with my trainings. For you
Okay.
guys
Thank
only,
you,
I've
Raj.
made this file. Oh yeah,
Okay, we'll wait.
yeah. So I will call Tanmay tomorrow, and Priya or Anita, if you can also tell Tanmay in the meantime. But anyways, I will call him tomorrow and tell him to share on priority. Tomorrow is Monday. Tomorrow morning only I will call him. So do not worry about that.
Okay, Raj. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. Any other questions anyone has?
Thank you.
Thank you, Raj.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
You guys are welcome. Have a good day
Okay.
ahead.
And you too. Bye.
Bye.